Hello everybody, a very warm welcome then to Budapest. One last game for a shot at European glory. Paris Saint-Germain face Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League final in 2026. This is a big game, two teams who come all the way. The reigning champions versus the newly crowned Premier League champions. This is one that nobody wants to miss. Two titans of European football in the modern stage. Here we go. This is the big night then. Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Enrique's second final in 2 years. And well, Safonov starts in goal. Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos and Hakimi are the back four. Ruiz, Vitinha and Neves in the midfield three. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Desiree Doué start up front for Paris Saint-Germain. Well, it's been an almost perfect season for PSG. They played the maximum amount of games in this competition so far this year. Went to the knockout phase playoffs. Monaco, Chelsea, Liverpool and Bayern on the way to the final. Arsenal, on the other hand, this is the first final since 2006 on the in the UEFA Champions League. They played the Europa League final in 2019, of course. Leverkusen, Sporting Lisbon and Atletico Madrid on the way to the final. Martin Odegaard takes the captain's armband tonight. David Araya starts in goal. Hincapié, Gabriel, Saliba and Mars Lewis Skelly, Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard, Trossard, Gyökeres and Saka start up front for Arsenal. Well, the kings of the league stage face the current kings of Europe. Here we go then. The Champions League final of 2026 is underway and Paris Saint-Germain doing their usual antics. Of course, don't forget Paris Saint-Germain are still in the running in the Westie TV Champions League. You don't want to miss that one. Quarterfinals starting from Sunday. Here's Saka. Odegaard into Saka again. This is our first commentary of Arsenal in over a year on Westie TV. This is the Charity Cup if we've seen them. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Ousmane Dembele. Played wide for Doué. Clever feet. Hakimi. Dembele. Neves. Hakimi blocked by Arsenal's defence. Mendes. PSG picking back at the ball in the defence. They've already pressed Arsenal right in. Here's Vitinha. Vitinha trying to find a gap. Fabian Ruiz. This is good from PSG. This is very, very good. Well, keep an eye on Dembele tonight, the Ballon d'Or winner. Here's João Neves. Well, he was the League One player of the season. Here's Mendes. João Neves blocked by Hincapié. Here's Declan Rice. Into Trossard. Rice again. Into Hincapié. Zubimendi became the first player to play all 38 games this Premier League season and win the title in a debut season. That's an incredible feat for Martin Zubimendi. Here's Gyökeres. Scored in the opening game against Athletic Bilbao in September. Here's Desiree Doué now down the right hand side. Lovely bit of space. Past Hincapié. Here's Ousmane Dembele inside the box now. Vitinha laying it off for Neves. Fabian Ruiz inside the area. Needs to find a gap. Here's Nuno Mendes and Mars Lewis Skelly. Like there's a makeshift right back tonight. Helping out. Here's Arsenal. Gyökeres now on the ball. Odegaard. Zubimendi into Hincapié. Gyökeres. Arsenal trying to find the gaps. Lewis Skelly brought into Saka. And it's out for an Arsenal corner. Now, top of the set-piece tree in the Premier League this season. Where can they sit now? 30 minutes here in Budapest played. And Arsenal have a corner. What do you reckon? Short by Saka. Lewis Skelly whipping it into the area. And it's Hakimi playing it out. And Marquinhos assisting. Saka into Odegaard again. Gyökeres. Saka to Skelly. Odegaard. Rice. Here's Bukayo Saka. Arsenal strike first. But it was Sol Campbell the last time Arsenal scored in the Champions League final. And it's Bukayo Saka who scores. Arsenal star boy will be sat on a throne in North London tomorrow. PSG behind then. This is a huge shock for the reigning champions. Nuno Mendes brought forward into Kvicha Kvaratskhelia and it's offside again. It's a very long ball into the box and into the area, and Kvaratskhelia was just a bit too far. I don't think it would have come in, anything would have come from that, but well, PSG have taken up most of the Ultras end, or the Ultras end is wider than it normally is, even the Parc des Princes in the Puskás Arena tonight. It's incredible to see. Here's Rice into Zubimendi. Gabriel. Zubimendi into Lewis Skelly. Saka. Martin Odegaard. Saka again. Here's Zubimendi. Hincapié. Arsenal have the last touch of the first half. And so then, Bukayo Saka leads the way for Arsenal. And so far, they've held off this brilliant PSG attacking forward line. But past Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 at the half-time break here in Budapest. Welcome back, everybody. Second half underway here in Budapest, and well, it's a commanding lead so far for Arsenal. They've laid down the marker. But we remember the last time Arsenal were in a Champions League final and they were 1-0 up. Odegaard wide over to Leandro Trossard. Zubimendi. Here's Odegaard into Gyökeres. Saka once more. Gyökeres into Rice. Trossard. Gyökeres! The big man up front doubles the Arsenal lead. Straight across Safonov. Into the far corner. And PSG are crumbling at the seams. Well, this is a huge goal for Arsenal. There could be... Is this their year? The League and European double. Vitinha wide to Doué. Hincapié clears. And now Leandro Trossard's on the run. Arsenal slowing it down a little bit. Zubimendi into Odegaard. Rice. Midfield three working so well. Half an hour left to play. PSG. They're in it with a shout still. There's chances. Here's Doué into Ousmane Dembele. Brought back to Kvaratskhelia. PSG needs something here. Lewis Skelly blocks out and Arteta straight out of that technical area. Calafiori coming on now for Lewis Skelly. It's a okay game for him. It wasn't the... hasn't been standouts in that Arsenal side to this season, but he's here tonight. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele laid across for Vitinha. Vitinha's looking to try and make the run inwards. Forced into traffic by Odegaard. Dembele wide to Doué. Doué whipped into the area looking for the head of Kvaratskhelia, but it was wide of the park. Here's João Neves! Oh! Ryan made the save. Called up to the Spain squad despite a... Here's Rice. Now into Trossard. Well, neither team has scored. Well, both teams have not scored in the Champions League final since 2018 in Kiev. Remember that one? Sadio Mane, Gareth Bale, and I think an own goal that night. I can't remember exactly. Here's Kvaratskhelia. PSG back on the run. Nuno Mendes whipped into the area. Wasn't quite to be. And Raya expertly out to Rice. Gyökeres. Hincapié. Rice. 10 minutes and Arsenal are European champions for the first time. It really will brush away the blows under Wenger. And all the past European pain, that UEFA Cup in 2000. And it's Galatasaray, the final in 2006 against Barcelona, that night in 2019 in Baku when they lost to London rivals Chelsea. Dembele. Doué. PSG have got to pull something out of the hat and, well, something big. Doué whipping it forward. Raya has to punch it out. Clattered in by Kvaratskhelia. Fabian Ruiz. And it's not played forward. Saliba punts it out. Arsenal are a moment away. 1 minute added on. The cheer at the Arsenal end. That's it! Arsenal are the European champions for the first time. And Paris Saint-Germain fall off the perch. Well, this is a special group of players, the Arsenal side, who have brought the glory days back to North London. And you can't help but be happy for them. And I'm sure the fans will be celebrating all night long. Well, PSG dethroned at the last. And Arsenal have the chance to lift the prize they've wanted for nearly 3 decades. For Arsenal, the years of hurts are about to be over. Arsenal are the UEFA Champions League winners in 2026. What a spectacular night. For the team, for the fans, at home in North London and all across the world. What a night this is going to be. And Odegaard has another Champions League to his name as well. What an incredible evening of football we've had. Arsenal are confirmed as the European champions. that's it then. Well, Arsenal on top of the tree for the first time. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and goodbye.